Hi everyone, this is Sock. I'm here playing on my Masters account, currently 0 LP, on my way to climb to Challenger. I have my girlfriend sitting next to me who is currently in Silver. The goal of these reviews is really for me to get better by seeing what I did wrong, but also to show her what could be done better. Additionally, if anyone else watching this can benefit from it, that would be amazing. Also, if anyone finds anything that I could have done better, please let me know and I'll make a note of it. To start, we have a Vi encounter, which gives you 2 components. My first thought is 2 components are good for scrap. If I can play scrap, I'll play scrap, but I'm sure other people have the same ideas as well. I'm given a Smeech, which is interesting. I don't think I plan on playing Chem Baron right now, just because of the recent nerfs, but I guess I haven't really tried it out that much yet. So maybe I should have gone Chem Baron here. Either way, I'm just putting in some enforcers to help with synergies. We can speed it up right now through the creep rounds. I feel like Violet has been nerfed pretty significantly, but a 2-star Violet is still a 2-star Violet. And here I decide to sell the Singe so I can pick up basically everything. I have multiple pairs. Let's see what I can get in the shop next time. Kind of regret not selling all of my Chem Barons, but it is what it is. I got Epoch because it's a good way of tempoing throughout the entire game. I'm able to have some rerolls to make sure my team is as strong as possible. I see a Morgana, which goes well with a lot of casting, and I use my rerolls to get another Sentinel. I also still have the 2-star Violet. She doesn't add any synergy, but she is a 2-star champion, which is good. So that's why I'm keeping her in. I still have one more reroll, which I didn't have time to use, but from an optimized perspective, I should have used both last turn. So I got quite lucky here, and I got a Leona 2 and a Aurelia 2.
Yeah, that's really lucky.
Yeah. So I have 3 Sentinels, which is a little awkward, but these are the good Sentinels, and also Rel is the only 1-star, and it matches up with my Morgana.
Next Sentinel in would probably be Loris.
Yeah. Yeah. If I decide to go Sentinel.
True.
Yeah. So here's the thing. If you look at my board, something like Sentinel Academy would be pretty good. In fact, I believe I checked the Academy item at some point, and I think it was actually really good Academy items. But if you look at my items, they're not the best for Academy. They're acceptable for Academy if I put it on Jace. But they're not exactly the best on Heimer, because Heimer really wants blue buff to be really good. What is really good with the items that I have is the team that I just shown, which is Silco, Black Rose. So here I just picked up the highest cost item. And I buy the Lux in case I want to go the Academy route. I also decide that I am going to level up, primarily because I have won 3 games already, and also this allows me to put in the Darius, which doesn't make my team that much stronger, but it does give me Conqueror, which allows me to get some gold when I get to 10 kills. So here I find something pretty interesting. I find a Swain, which is actually like quite strong. So what I decide to do is I pivot out of everything into a Swain. And what this allows me to do is get 4 Conqueror, which is really nice because it really ramps up the amount of stacks that I get with Conqueror. So here, if I can win enough, this Swain can make me quite a bit of money. So like you saw, I went automatically up to 15. My board probably did get a little weaker, but it's fine. Like, it's still at an acceptable state. And also I got the 2 gold, which made up for me leveling earlier to put in Darius. So again, I got my Epoch, which means I get 2 free rerolls. Here, I kind of have a decision to make. I can either put in the Gangplank or I can put in the Vladimir. They both give me 2 trait. The Gangplank will give me Pit Fighter and Form Changer, Form Swapper. And the Vladimir will give me Watcher and Sorcerer. The reason why I put in the Vladimir over the Gangplank is because I wanted to make 40 gold, and also Vladimir is part of the Black Rose comp that I will probably go to later. And again, I get Mana Flow, which is great for Black Rose because the whole point is you just want Silco to cast as much as possible because Dominators gain ability power every time they cast. So I have 2 Shojins, which means every attack he does 10 more mana. It gives him 10 more mana. And also the Mana Flow will give him another 2 mana. So here I'm considering some other comps. I'm looking at maybe I should go... maybe I could go a Emissary route. But the only thing with the Emissary route is I don't really have anyone who's really good at holding the items that are on my swing, right? I have Nami, but that's about it. Nami's really my strongest person in Emissary. Or I guess I keep it on Swain, but the thing is Swain kind of falls off a little later on, unless if I get him 3-star. So I guess I could just like go in and 3-star the Swain. The other thing with having Swain as my main carry is that I don't have a lot of characters in the back. If we look at the Emissary route, everyone who's doing something is in the front. So I would be losing mana flow value. So because of those 2 things, I decide that it's still best to go for Black Rose. So here I'm just looking for any defensive item. Ideally, I would got something like a Sunfire, but it was taken. So the best that I could have done is a Gargoyles. Here again, I'm just trying to save HP. I'm looking at how strong my opponents are and whether I can beat them easily or not. I decide that I am good enough right now, so I decide not to level. I could have potentially leveled by giving up 1 interest by going to 40. However, if we look at it here, if I leveled once and put in 1 more unit, I probably would have won that fight. So that was a mistake. I probably should have leveled there.
Who would you put in though?
I would probably have just put in the Maddie, you know.
Okay.
But she does snipe stuff, so I think it would have been good to have her and just let her snipe something, you know.
I guess it's just you don't have Enforcer or Sniper, so it's not like she would add any qualities.
Yeah, I mean, she's still a 2-star unit, you know, so a 2-star unit is a 2-star unit.
True.
So unfortunately, I still lost here, but overall, I'm getting stacks, and my goal is to see if I can get 100 stacks before 4-2, right? Because the goal is to transition to a Soko comp on 4-2. I'm still keeping this idea opened in terms of maybe going Emissary, but I think at the end of the day, my items are just too good. Oh, and I picked up a Soko, which is helpful, and a Cassie, yeah, and a Blitzcrank. Right, so now my board's looking really good for Soko route, essentially. So if you look at this, essentially everyone here is on my board except for the Darius. I decide that 2 fists isn't that good for me because I already have my attack items. And then everything else is just kind of awkward. So I definitely don't want Noxian because I'm not going Noxus. Item collector is a little weird because I do have some duplicate items. So I end up going for just more ability power, which is good. So now I start transitioning my entire board. I put in everyone that I need to. Yeah. So I have my whole board completed, which is good. But the only problem right now is that they're all 1-star. I have a bunch of 1-stars. They're all really weak. I need to keep on rerolling. I did not reroll fast enough there. I spent too long looking at my augments, and I probably should have been faster there. Oh, wow, you had a LeBlanc very early. Yeah, yeah. But here's my first, I would say, major mistake, right? Because I have a LeBlanc, which is much, much better than a 2-star Morgana. I should have taken out the 2-star Morgana and immediately put in the LeBlanc. In fact, the items that I have on my Cassie are very, very good on LeBlanc. So one thing about LeBlanc is she actually prefers Ginsu's over Shojin as a mana item. And the reason is how her ability works is she throws out like this like black rose chain thing that like chains a bunch of people together. And then she auto attacks. She auto attacks 3 times. And that's part of her ability. And during those auto attacks, she doesn't gain mana. Which means you want her to get done with her auto attacks as quickly as possible so that she can go back to gaining mana. So Ginsu's is actually really good on LeBlanc. And I think it takes me like another turn to realize this and put in the LeBlanc. But in the future, I'll definitely stick her in like as soon as possible.
Oh, you want this one?
Yeah, so now I'm starting to get all my units and I'm starting to get a lot stronger. Ideally, I would get another Elise and I would get another Mundo and that would make me strong. Normally, I would roll around. Finisher is fine. It just allows your carry to execute things at 15% health. And I just don't have a lot of gold. I only have 10 gold. I don't have enough gold to keep on rolling down to get the perfect augment. Okay, so here I realized the LeBlanc is the better carry. So I put in over Morgana and I put the items on LeBlanc. The other thing is I had a lesser duplicator and I just duped a 3-cost and sold it. My whole entire board is complete, at least in terms of the lower cost champions. So that lesser duplicator is just 3 free gold that's sitting on my bench. So I decided to just copy something and sell it to get the 3 gold. So again, I was doing super well, but when I transitioned, I kind of fell off a little bit because it took me a little long to transition into my true comp. I think I'm stabilized now, but I still think I am a little in danger. So I decide that I'm going to go to level 9. I had 2 free rerolls, so I decided to use them to see if I can get a Elise 2 or a Mundo 2. But because I didn't, I stopped rolling and I'm saving money to go to level 9. So currently I'm at 38 gold, which means it will probably take me 2 turns to get to level 9. Here I get a Mundo 2, which is very nice. On this team, you're trying to maximize your dominators, and Mundo is your main tank. But I still feel that Garen is the better overall tank. He gets additional durability from Watcher, and also his emissary bonus benefits the rest of my team as well. This team is really interesting. I really want to try this. I'm not really sure how to deal with it, to be honest. So how that team works that I just faced is they have 4 Firelight, okay? And what 4 Firelight does is it gives you a ton of attack speed every time you dash. So they have a Firelight spat on a Smeech, and the Smeech just dashes into my back line, attacks a bunch, and just kills all my carries. So, huh?
Yeah, I figured the only way you get 4 Firelights is if you have the emblem.
Yeah, that's correct.
Aren't
yeah.
the only Firelights Zeri, Echo, and Scar?
Yeah, that's correct. So here, there's a few items that would be good for me. But at the end of the day, I thought the best item is just another Black Rose Spat. This allows me to open up one more spot to fit something in. So here I looked at Ambessa, but then I realized that I already have Garen, so it's not a good use of it. But I do get Jace, which is also the best form swapper, which pairs well with my Elise. So when you get a Jace creates this crystal thing, which helps improve attack speed of different champions. Okay, so right now I'm just trying to win as much as I can. So even though I gave up my Elise, my pair of Elises, I got 2 LeBlancs, which is very good. So this is one thing when you're in lower ELOs. So you see there where I had a pair of LeBlancs and I had a pair of Elise on bench. If you're facing people who are significantly weaker than you, it's okay to just lock the shop and buy the Elise next turn. But like right now, it's a very close lobby, so I just want to be as strong as I can be at all given times. So in terms of the item, there was Sunfire Cape that was good for the Garen. I could have also got one of the items that was good for my LeBlanc. But ultimately, I just want to stay alive as long as possible because the whole point of this comp is I just want Soko to stay alive and keep on casting. Every time he casts, he does more damage. He gains more AP, he does more damage. So here I'm considering putting in Mordekaiser. The only issue with Mordekaiser is I don't have any good items for him. I guess the items on LeBlanc are fine on him, but it's a 2-star LeBlanc, so I'm not going to pull it off of LeBlanc. I could also give him a Thief's Glove, but I just felt that the Blitzcrank was more tanky and allowed me to stall longer, which will help me win more. So here, that was a very, very close fight, and that Jace Crystal saved me. That Jace Crystal, what it does is it increases the attack speed of the 3 closest units, which is good. So here was another mistake that I made. So I sold the Elise to afford the Victor, but I bought the Victor to replace the Jace. So what I should have done is I should have sold the Jace and bought the Victor, and that way I would still have a pair of Elises, you know? And that way I could have easily made Elise 2. So here I'm looking at items. There's nothing like super good. I decide that I want to get something for my LeBlanc, and that's a fine item. The only thing here is I already have a Sunfire Cape. So there's a little bit of crossover between the Sunfire Cape and the Morelos. So that's probably not the best item. I could have got like an Infinity Edge for my Victor, for example, and that probably would have been better. And again, the issue with this board right here is just like, they just jump around too much. I don't know how to deal with it. So I look at the board, and I feel like the main thing here is I just need to make sure my Soko doesn't get stunned. How the Jinx works is the Jinx shoots a like laser as her first spell, and whoever she hits gets stunned. So I position in a way where my Soko will not get stunned, and because of that, I actually did win this fight. And I get my Elise 2 as well, which is a good sign. Also, they have a Mel, which means I probably need to win like 3 more fights in a row to win the game, and then they only need to win 1 fight to win the game. Here I decide to get something for my Victor so he does more damage. But at this point, I really don't have anything that I'm rolling for anymore. I have 2 cost everything, but I also do not have enough gold to go level 10. So I think right now it's just about praying. But the thing is, their Jinx is now a 2-star and significantly stronger. And they also got a Warwick. Unfortunately, I did come in second here. There's a few things I could have improved on, but I think overall it was a good game. All right, thank you everyone for watching. Do you have any thoughts currently?
Overall, definitely a good setup. I think in the end, I definitely have also fallen for that idea of putting Victor in, but I don't know if keeping Form Swapper Jace would have been the better option since the crystal was there. But overall, it was good. It's a strong Black Rose. Yeah.